Tonight, as anglers prepare to hit the water, we're breaking down some new rules ahead of Minnesota's fishing opener.
Plus, ahead of Wisconsin's special election Tuesday, the state's National Guard is stepping in to keep polling places safe.
And in a time of need for many, a local food bank receives a generous donation that organizers say will feed more than 20,000 people.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. We're now on the eve of Minnesota's fishing opener, and there's a lot of new regulations to be aware of to slow the spread of COVID-19.
It's typically a day anglers all over the state circle on the calendars, but this year will be one unlike any other. The DNR and the Minnesota Department of Health are asking you to follow several guidelines to keep everyone safe and healthy while fishing this weekend. They say no overnight stays, bring all the supplies you need with you, and only go as far as you can travel and return on a single tank of gas.
The point of these guidelines is to protect particularly rural communities that are home to older populations or other populations, for example, our American Indian populations, who have a higher incidence of underlying health conditions.
If you do plan on traveling to fish this weekend, the DNR says it won't be issuing tickets. The Minnesota State Highway Patrol says they will be increasing their patrols this weekend along interstates and highways leading to popular fishing areas. You should also know that while DNR managed access sites are open, typical spring maintenance has not been done. Other public and private access sites may not be open.
Meanwhile, the Quick Trip in Cloquet was packed this afternoon with anglers stopping for gas as they head to their fishing destinations. Many told us they were excited to reel in a big catch this weekend. They also said they traveled far from home to get here, some coming from as far away as Rochester, Zumbrota, and Prior Lake. A couple of those places are more than 3 hours from here. That goes against the state's recommendations about staying close to home. Here's what anglers had to say about that.
I'm going to take precautions. I'll only have 2 people in the boat, and they'll both be family. It'll be me and my son.
I look at them as guidelines, not restrictions. So obviously, because we're traveling, and I don't see a problem with what we're doing. You know, we're trying to follow the rules.
I think the restrictions should be lifted. I think we need to go back to work and get our country back in gear. Hopefully we don't freeze to death and we catch some fish.
The anglers we spoke with said they were headed to Ely and Lake Cabotogama.
Minnesota fishing license sales have skyrocketed this year. As of May 1st, sales were up 48% over last year, and fishing licenses for 16 and 17-year-olds are up 105%. And you don't need a license if you are under 16. While those numbers are very good news for businesses where those anglers can spend their money, other businesses aren't able to cash in because they're still ordered to stay closed for what's often their busiest weekend of the year. The owner of Marine General in Duluth says he's seen a significant increase in business during the month of April, and they're expecting that to continue through May. Francisco says in the month of April, the store sold the same number of fishing rods that they'd usually sell in 2 years.
Part of it is we're next to Lake Superior, you know, and so Lake Superior starts early, and people start fishing right away because they had nothing else to do.
But for the owners of Rainy Lake houseboats near International Falls, it's a much different story. While resorts can open under Governor Walz's order, they were told earlier this week that houseboat rentals cannot reopen. This year would have been the family-owned business's 102nd fishing opener, what's usually their busiest weekend. Co-owner Bill Doherty says not being able to open is devastating.
It's a shame that, you know, they take a full blanket policy to the whole state because there's different geographic areas where it's different.
The Rainy Lake houseboat owners and other resorts in the International Falls area spoke with Congressman Pete Stauber, asking him to advocate for lifting restrictions on houseboat rental companies. Here's a list of what is open for business and what's not when it comes to fishing in Minnesota. Bait shops are open, so are state parks, but only for day use. Camping, lodging, and group rental facilities are closed until at least May 18th under the governor's order.
All right, let's check in with Dave for a look at that fishing forecast for the opener. Hey, Dave.
Hi there, Tony. Many a fishing opener morning in my younger days spent on Pike Bay on Vermilion or the east end of Shagwa near Ely or over by Winton on Newton Portage on Fall Lake. And usually it was pretty chilly. You know, tomorrow morning, it's going to be pretty chilly. Today, daytime highs weren't so bad, but this morning, it was a bit brisk. Let's look at this morning's low temperatures. And I have a little bit of good news and bad news. I thought International Falls would drop into the teens, but they bottomed out at 27. Oh, heat wave. But it did drop into the teens towards Ely. And then that cold rode the road down Highway 1 into Silver Bay. So bottom line, cooler than normal for everybody, and will be again tomorrow. Here's our Minnesota fishing forecast then, and when you get up and get to the landing, it should be partly cloudy and about 24 degrees. By lunchtime, you get off the lake, take a little break, mostly sunny and 40. Afternoon, some clouds are building in with a high of 50. Those clouds could be a sign of a touch of precip Saturday night, Sunday morning. I'll talk about how much could be coming up in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. New at 6, one of Canal Park's most prominent businesses may take on a different look after the COVID-19 pandemic. Tony Bronson with Grandma's Restaurant says they're considering what comes next for the Sports Garden. He says following health guidelines might mean an end for its nightclub atmosphere. Bronson added that they have not officially decided anything. They plan to be flexible as health recommendations change.
Calling it a painful decision, Minnesota's governor today issued guidance telling schools not to hold in-person graduation ceremonies. The state is recommending schools hold virtual commencement ceremonies to ensure graduates and their families do not have to leave their homes. Indoor graduations and large outdoor gatherings in places like gymnasiums or football fields are not allowed. Schools thinking about other celebrations like a car parade or parking lot ceremony should consider whether or not it will be safe.
Minnesota's governor is asking state legislators to extend the deadline on COVID-19 funding. Back in mid-March, $200 million was earmarked for coronavirus response. Governor Tim Walz says it's been used for things like buying testing equipment and PPE and setting up alternative care sites. The money expires on Monday, May 11th. There's still $65 million left in the fund. Walz says it's allowed the state to move quickly and be flexible, so he's asking lawmakers to extend the deadline.
But I think it was a great tool that they came up with. It's one that we've agreed on, worked together, and been successful, and I would just hope they could find a compromise by Monday.
One purchase raising eyebrows. The state wants to spend almost $7 million to buy a warehouse to store human remains. Emergency Management Director Joe Kelly says funeral homes and medical examiners have asked them to do this because some places are already running out of space. Kelly says the state wants to make sure the body of every Minnesotan is handled with the respect and dignity it deserves.
1,600 Wisconsin inmates have been released in the last 2 months to slow the spread of COVID-19. Department of Corrections spokespeople say most of the inmates were behind bars for violating probation or parole. 20 prisoners across Wisconsin have tested positive for COVID-19. 24 corrections employees have self-reported testing positive.
The Wisconsin National Guard will be working at polling locations for Tuesday's 7th District special election. Guard leaders say about 250 service members will take part. People are encouraged to vote absentee. The Wisconsin Elections Commission asked for the Guard's help to staff polling places for people who want to vote in person. The service members will be checking in voters, monitoring equipment, keeping an eye on social distancing, and sanitizing. Voters are choosing between Democrat Tricia Zunker and Republican State Senator Tom Tiffany to fill former Congressman Sean Duffy's seat.
Superior's mayor says he's waiting for word from the state on when and how schools and businesses can reopen. Mayor Jim Payne says he also expects most summer festivals and events to be canceled. But he says Superior's parks and trails are back open and visitors can check out Wisconsin Point again. The city's landfill will reopen on Monday.
A third person has been charged in a Beltrami County homicide and arson case. Devin Belcourt was arrested Tuesday. The 32-year-old is charged with murder, arson, and burglary with a dangerous weapon and explosive. On Sunday, a body was found in a burning home near Bemidji, and a man was found alive, but with gunshot wounds. 2 other suspects were arrested earlier this week in Minot. A criminal complaint says the 3 planned to steal drugs, a safe, and money from the victim's home.
5 people in Superior are without a place to go after a fire did $90,000 worth of damage to their home. Crews responded to Weeks Avenue and North 6th Street just after 5 o'clock this morning. Heavy flames were coming from behind the building. Nobody was hurt, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Meanwhile, Duluth police say no one is in custody 1 month after 2 fires were started intentionally. The fires happened in April. That's when police say 2 houses were intentionally set on fire in the Central Hillside and Endian neighborhoods. Nobody was hurt. Police say it's unclear if the fires are connected, Anyone with information is asked to call police.
A Duluth food bank is thankful for a major donation today. Duluth's Knights of Columbus group donated $8,000 to Second Harvest Food Bank today. Members say they were expecting to raise between $1,000 and $2,000, but in just about 2 weeks, they received $8,000. Paul Seaver, the district deputy for Knights of Columbus, says this large donation could be thanks to a little friendly competition between councils.
They had a handful of guys that had a meeting one afternoon, and this idea hatched among that small group, and they wanted to challenge each other to see how much money they could raise in their individual council.
Those at Second Harvest say each dollar donated can make 3 meals, so this donation will feed 24,000 people. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, with Mother's Day this Sunday, local businesses are hoping to boost sales as they continue to navigate the coronavirus pandemic.
And Dave will have a quick look at the weather.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS 3.
Keep scrolling. Order food. Skim headlines. Order shoes. Use AutoSend for flowers. Use AutoSend for birthdays. Don't go outside. Don't go outside. Don't leave the phone behind. No sync. Don't blink. Don't think. Don't ever let yourself feel this alive. Breathe. Ride.
Garden mats eliminate 90% of the time spent working in the garden and increase a garden's productivity by 10 to 20%. Garden mats let air and water through, but block sunlight. The pre-measured holes make planting a breeze. We help people grow 100% organic vegetables, weed-free. Garden mats give us our summers back to do the things we love. Go to gardenmats.com.
Engines are restarting. Park is shifting to drive. And to get things moving again, we're offering 0% financing for 72 months and no payments for 120 days. Plus, the freedom to shop and buy online. So you can meet the road ahead with confidence. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, helping you drive forward.
CBS 3 is going live at 5, focusing on bringing you hyper-local news and weather. Getting the stories that impact your community the most, right down to your neighborhood.
130-year-old.
We're live outside the Husky Refinery.
The city of Duluth is getting a new hockey rink.
A new convention center is coming to Virginia.
Special Ed here in Finland welcomes the mushers from
CBS 3, live at 5.
Clarity.
Honesty.
Trust.
At Live Local CBS 3, these are more than just words.
They're a promise that in times of uncertainty,
in times of fear, we're here for you.
Here to help you understand.
To help you protect the things that matter most to you.
To bring you facts, not fear. That's our promise to you.
We're live.
We're local.
We're CBS 3.
We're going to make stuff go boom. In other words, we're going to turn it out to 11.
New MacGyver, tonight at 8/7 Central on CBS.
Hey, looky loose inside. Thomas, your Nagans are in trouble.
It's 2 new hours of Magnum.
You put everyone I love in danger.
Magnum! 2 new episodes tonight at 9/8 Central on CBS.
Get your news on the go. The CBS 3 mobile app.
Well, it's a beautiful day out here on the deck. A little bit on the chilly side, and temperatures this morning were indeed brisk. Got down into the teens for some places, 20s for others. We'll be very close to that again tomorrow morning. A little bit of a chill conquering the eastern half of the United States while a warm spell surges up towards the west coast of our country. That's the yin and the yang of weather in the mid-latitudes here on the northern part of the Western Hemisphere. Yeah, we live and we learn, and we enjoy just about every minute of it. All right, let's take a a look at our first map of the day here, and it's going to show us something that we should be cautious about and maybe not enjoy so much. Because of the beautiful dry weather we've been having, the fire danger keeps popping up every afternoon because of low relative humidities and then goes away in the evening when temperature and dew point get closer after sunset. That's the drill we face again tonight and through the weekend. So be careful with fire this weekend. A lot of places, a lot of jurisdictions have banned both campfires and the usual recreational type of fires some folks may enjoy. So bottom line, be very, very careful out there. Let's fire up now what's coming up with the current conditions around our region, and it's going to show that the relative humidity is indeed on the dry side out there. It is in the 20s as far as it goes, 26%. Northwesterly wind, it's going 14 miles per hour, and our air pressure on the high side at 1,022 millibars. Current temp 44 degrees, cooler than normal, which is a trend for many of the next 7 days. Right now, cool enough up in Ontario for snow showers near Thunder Bay, and some towns in our region got some of those this morning, but in general, higher pressure has a hold of us, so the sky is clear, even though that didn't do too much to warm us up too much. No, we are on the cooler side and likely will be again on Saturday. But that lower pressure system coming in from the west is going to change things up for a couple of counts. Its warm front will try to push us back perhaps into the 50s tomorrow rather than the 40s like a lot of towns had today. It'll also bring a shower chance Saturday night into Sunday morning. So Minnesota's fishing opener Saturday should be sunny during the daylight hours. Then there's a chance for precip at night, but it's really only a 30% chance. Might mix in with a couple of snow showers too, and some of those snow showers may try to stick south of Hayward, so watch out for that. Tonight in Minnesota, low temps will run from 22 near International Falls to 27 by Moose Lake. The skies should be partly cloudy with a northwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. The overnight low temperatures for Wisconsin and Michigan will be a hair warmer, going 25 to 28 degrees with a northwesterly wind 5 to 15 there. For tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan, high temps probably will push towards 50 to 55, partly cloudy day, rain shower chance at night. Northwest wind slows down to 5 to 10 miles per hour. Minnesota high temperatures tomorrow will run from the 40s by the lake to the 50s farther inland, and again partly cloudy during the day with a shower chance at night. We take a look now at our 7-day forecast, which shows just a couple of chances for precip this week. The lesser one is Saturday night into Sunday, but then we watch temperatures steadily increase through Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's when we get a rain chance. That could be a 50-50 shot on Thursday. And finally, Tony, Kristen, by Friday, back to normal. High temp with 60 degrees.
We'll look forward to that. Thanks, Dave. Wisconsin DNR officials want you to avoid outdoor burning this weekend. The DNR says there's a high risk of fire danger, possibly through early next week. All burning permits are suspended for the northern half of the state. That also means no campfires. The DNR says northern Wisconsin is currently in the peak of fire season.
Mother's Day is less than 2 days away, and with Governor Walz now allowing curbside pickup for shops, downtown Duluth businesses are hoping to reap what they're calling much-needed benefits. CBS3's Leanne Valdez has the details.
It is a different normal when we come to work every day.
Emily Ekstrom is used to getting crafty.
I'm actually putting it together.
She owns Huckleberry on Superior Street in downtown Duluth, a place that sells quirky and thoughtful items. When COVID-19 hit the area, causing stores to shut down, Ekstrom knew she had to be extra creative in order to still bring in revenue.
It has definitely been a challenge.
So ahead of the Mother's Day rush, they turned to social media to get the word out about their deals, hoping to draw up sales.
Coming to people using Facebook stories, using Instagram stories, and making sure that we're showing them different products in the store.
So are we.
Huckleberry also just transformed the back part of the store into a makeshift studio and take photos of each item to showcase them on social media and offer curbside pickup.
Hey, I could swing by when I'm going to fuel up my car or I'm going to pick up food. I can just swing by Huckleberry, and it can be that easy where I run it right out to your car.
Ekstrom says she feels the after effects of it all.
To be completely honest, we are working 3 times as hard, but for about a third of what we're making.
She's not the only one.
We are working every day. We're working harder and longer hours than ever before.
Owner of Art in the Alley, Tammy LaPole Edmonds, says they've had to beef up their online store, especially before Mother's Day.
It's been all revamped and it's full. We're putting new things on our online store every day.
They too are offering curbside.
Curbside is something that we've never talked about before.
Both businesses hoping the community chooses local to help in time of need.
Coming up in sports, how one UMD men's hockey player made a big impact away from the ice. Kelly's in with sports next.
Northwest Outlet is open for business. Now save up to 40% off store-wide.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Angie's Closet is here to help you refresh your spring wardrobe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to find new outfits posted daily. Once you fall in love with the perfect style, comment on the post or direct message us to set up curbside pickup or shipping. Thanks for shopping local with Angie's Closet.
For more than 80 years, innovation has been at the heart of everything we do at Nissan, and today is no different. We're finding new ways to help you keep going while helping you keep your distance. Ask your local Nissan dealer about buying or servicing a Nissan vehicle from home. Now, get no payments for 3 months. Plus, we'll cover your payments for up to 2 additional months, or get 0% APR financing for up to 84 months on 13 models. This is help when you need it.
Classic Rock KQ is once again the Northland's #1 radio station. The KQ Morning Show, the most listened to radio program in the Northland. The KQ Train Wreck, the Northland's #1 afternoon show. Thank you for making us the Northland's #1 radio station. 95 KQDS.
Powerful change occurs when people unite. We unite people to activate positive change, to make lives better. Help us fight for what's right for all. Basic needs, access to health care, a good education, and financial stability. There's strength in numbers. Join us and live united. HLUnitedWay.org.
CBS3 is going live at 5, focusing on bringing you hyper-local news and weather. Getting the stories that impact your community the most, right down to your neighborhood.
Town's 130-year-old.
We're live outside the Husky Refinery.
The city of Duluth is getting a new hockey rink.
A new convention center is coming to Virginia.
Special ed here in Finland welcomes the mushers from
CBS3, live at 5.
Kristen Vaki, as a fellow Iron Ranger, brings a calmness to our team where she's unflappable.
Kristen Vaki is one of the most respected anchors in this market.
I think her passion for journalism runs really deep in her.
Kristen is the real deal, a pleasure to work with, and you can always count on her.
Get to know Kristen Vaki, weeknights on live local CBS3.
Come on down for big laughs.
Hello, everybody. I like those glasses.
Trying to imitate you.
Come on down for rip-roaring fun.
Amazing. You made it.
Come on down for spectacular surprises.
$35,000. Just won $200,000.
Oh, yeah.
It's a new car.
You need this in your life.
Yes. Boy, is it going to be a good hour.
The Price is Right. Weekday CBS Daytime.
The UMD Athletic Department has spent the last week honoring student athletes in its Week of Champions for both achievements on the ice court field as well as off. A recipient of both the Pat Francisco Community Service Award and the Sean Podine Service Award, UMD men's hockey senior Jade Miller has been involved in a number of different community service projects and volunteer opportunities during his time at UMD. The Minto, North Dakota native spent his time as a coach with the Minnesota Wild Special Hockey Program, which is a program for kids and adults with special needs. Miller has also paid regular visits to hospitals in Duluth, Superior, the Twin Cities, and Buffalo, New York, and has spent the final 2 years of his collegiate career as a chapel leader for the team as well. But when I talked to Miller about all these things that he's been involved in, he was quick to say that that is just how the Bulldogs do things around here.
I think when people come into UMD, their goal is to be better hockey players, and I think the coaches really do a good job of making sure you're better people by the time you leave school. And I think I really saw that my freshman year. And that kind of became the focal point for me. Was obviously with how big hockey is in this town, you can kind of use it as a platform to, go out of your way and help other people and hopefully put a smile on their face. And, whether it's for 4 years and they don't know who you are anymore, but at the time you're kind of larger than life to and hopefully just trying to set a good example for guys to follow.
More with Miller tonight at 10. Last week, the Duluth-Denfeld robotics team was supposed to have been in Detroit for the World's Robotics Championships after one of their best performances in recent years. But like many other championship events in April, it was canceled due to the pandemic. The Hunters team of just over 20 students had built a robot named Luma, standing over 3.5 feet tall and weighing 125 pounds. At the beginning of the year, they were given a challenge for the robot to perform, shooting foam balls into an elevated goal. They worked for about 8 weeks designing the robot and fundraising for the build. Denfeld was originally knocked out of the quarterfinals, but received the Engineering Inspiration Award, moving them on to Worlds, in part due to some pretty unique technology.
Kind of an interesting system, I thought, is we had a conveyor system running from the front to the back where we had a turret up on the top, and we would sit behind one of the game elements, and we would auto lock onto that outer target and be able to shoot across the field fairly accurately into that goal.
Vision processing has been a part of a first for a long time. They always put reflective tape on the field for teams to be able to lock on. We're definitely not the first to do it, but this is the first year our team has been able to utilize it effectively.
I don't have words for what these high schoolers were able to do. I just remember sitting in the office and watching the videos of the robot itself, and I go, high schoolers made this.
Yeah.
So they're of course all majoring in computer science when they go into college, and just some pretty incredible things that they've been able to do.
I'm always amazed at the robots that they come up with. It's crazy, the designs and the smarts that goes into that.
So smart.
Yeah. Thanks, Kelly.
Here's what's coming up later tonight. Fishing license sales are way up from previous years, and that's good news for some businesses, but very bad for others that are forced to stay closed due to the governor's orders. Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, we're hearing from those business owners who are calling on federal officials for help.
And before we go, an animal refuge in Brazil is welcoming a new guest. A fluffy harpy eagle recently hatched, marking another milestone in their efforts to preserve the majestic species. It's the 50th harpy eagle born at the center, which, according to the refuge veterinarian, is the largest center for reproduction for harpy eagles in captivity in the world.
Boy, are they cute.
They
Thanks
are.
for joining us.
We'll see you back here at 10.